Do you ever wish you could remain calm and unshaken no matter what life throws your way? Imagine having a mindset so strong that no challenge, no pain, and no obstacle could disturb your inner peace. Sounds impossible? It's not. As Buddha once said, "You will not be punished for your anger. You will be punished by your anger." The secret lies in mastering the ancient wisdom of Buddhism, learning to detach, reframe, and take control of your mind. In this video, you'll discover 7 powerful lessons that will help you develop an untouchable mindset, one where nothing can hurt you. Stay with us, because by the end, you'll see life in a whole new way. 1. Detachment is your superpower. One of the greatest sources of suffering in life is attachment, whether to people, material possessions, outcomes, or even our own expectations. We often hold on too tightly, fearing loss or change. But life is inherently unpredictable. Everything is in a constant state of flux. Buddhism teaches us that the key to true freedom lies in practicing detachment, not in the sense of becoming indifferent, but in letting go of our need to control everything around us. Detachment allows you to experience life fully without being enslaved by it. It helps you enjoy relationships without becoming dependent, pursue goals without being devastated by failure, and embrace change without fear. When you detach from specific outcomes, you open yourself to new possibilities and reduce unnecessary stress. A practical way to cultivate detachment is through mindfulness. When you feel anxious or frustrated, take a moment to step back and observe your emotions without judgment. Ask yourself, am I holding on to something too tightly? By creating mental space between yourself and your attachments, you regain control over your thoughts and feelings, allowing peace to take root. Letting go doesn't mean you stop caring, it means you stop clinging. It's about recognizing that nothing outside of you can truly define or complete you. When you embrace this mindset, you become emotionally independent and free from the constant fear of loss or disappointment. 2. Reframe pain as growth. Pain is an unavoidable part of life, but suffering is optional. What separates those who crumble under pressure from those who thrive is their ability to reframe pain as a valuable opportunity for growth. Every challenge you face carries a lesson, whether it's learning patience, developing resilience, or gaining wisdom. Most people see pain as something negative, something to be avoided at all costs. But Buddhism teaches us that pain is a necessary aspect of the human experience. Instead of resisting it, we should embrace it with curiosity and openness. Ask yourself, what is this experience trying to teach me? By shifting your perspective, you transform obstacles into stepping stones that lead to self-improvement. Consider the story of a seed. For it to grow into a strong tree, it must first break open in the darkness of the soil, facing pressure and struggle. The same principle applies to us. Growth often comes through discomfort. Instead of dwelling on the negative aspects of painful experiences, focus on how they are shaping you into a stronger, wiser person. A practical way to reframe pain is through journaling. When faced with difficulties, write down what you're feeling and challenge yourself to find at least one positive takeaway. Over time, this habit will help you build a mindset that welcomes challenges rather than fears them. 3. Control your inner dialogue. The way you talk to yourself has a profound impact on how you experience life. If your inner dialogue is filled with negativity, self-doubt, and criticism, you will inevitably feel vulnerable and easily hurt by external circumstances. However, when you take control of your internal narrative and replace negative self-talk with words of encouragement and empowerment, you create an unshakable foundation for inner strength. Your thoughts have power. They shape your emotions, actions, and ultimately your destiny. When you constantly tell yourself, "I'm not good enough," or "I can't handle this," you're reinforcing a mindset of weakness. Instead, practice affirmations that promote resilience, such as, "I am strong enough to overcome any challenge," or "I have the power to remain calm in any situation." Mindfulness meditation is an excellent tool for observing and reshaping your thoughts. Spend a few minutes each day in quiet reflection, paying attention to the thoughts that arise. When negative thoughts appear, don't push them away. Simply acknowledge them and consciously replace them with positive, empowering statements. Over time, you will realize that your mind is like a muscle. The more you train it to focus on positive, constructive thoughts, the stronger and more resilient it becomes. 4. Embrace the Stoic principle of Amor Fati. The ancient Stoic philosophers introduced a powerful mindset called Amor Fati, which translates to love of fate. This philosophy encourages us to fully accept everything that happens in our lives, whether good or bad, as necessary parts of our journey. Instead of resisting challenges or dwelling on regrets, Amor Fati teaches us to embrace every experience with open arms, recognizing that each event contributes to our growth and personal evolution. It is not just about tolerating what happens, but learning to love and find meaning in it, even when circumstances are difficult. At the heart of Amor Fati is the belief that life is not something that happens to us. Rather, it happens for us. Every setback, disappointment, or hardship carries a hidden lesson, shaping us into stronger and wiser individuals. When we resist life's events and wish things were different, we create unnecessary suffering for ourselves. Resistance leads to frustration, anxiety, and even resentment, trapping us in a cycle of negative thinking. However, by embracing life's unpredictability, we free ourselves from this struggle and move with the natural flow of existence, developing an unshakable inner peace. Think about some of the most successful or resilient individuals you know. They likely didn't reach their position by having an easy, struggle-free life. Instead, they encountered obstacles and setbacks, but chose to view them as opportunities rather than burdens. They embodied the spirit of Amor Fati, turning misfortune into strength and setbacks into stepping stones. By adopting this perspective, you too can begin to see life's difficulties as essential parts of your personal journey rather than interruptions. One way to practice Amor Fati in your daily life is by shifting your perspective and the language you use. Instead of reacting with frustration and asking, "Why is this happening to me?" try reframing your mindset to say, "This is happening for me." This small shift in wording can have a profound effect on how you perceive challenges. It helps you see difficulties as opportunities for self-improvement rather than obstacles meant to hold you back. For example, imagine losing a job or experiencing a failure. Your initial reaction might be sadness or frustration. But with Amor Fati, you can look deeper and see the possibility that this setback is guiding you toward a better opportunity, pushing you to develop new skills, or teaching you resilience. Over time, practicing this mindset can turn even the most painful experiences into valuable lessons and sources of strength. Another practical way to embrace Amor Fati is through gratitude. Start by listing things you are grateful for, even when facing adversity. Gratitude shifts your focus from what went wrong to what is still good in your life. By acknowledging that challenges help you grow, gratitude can transform your perception of hardships and help you build emotional resilience. Meditation and self-reflection can help cultivate an Amor Fati mindset. Spend time reflecting on past difficulties and identify the ways they helped you grow or changed your perspective for the better. Journaling about these moments can help reinforce the belief that everything happens for a reason, making it easier to accept future challenges with grace and optimism. Remember, Embracing Amor Fati doesn't mean passively accepting everything without effort. Instead, it means actively engaging with life and facing challenges head-on with the understanding that they are meant to shape you. It's about aligning yourself with the reality of the present moment and using it as fuel for personal growth rather than resisting it with frustration and fear. The more you practice accepting life as it unfolds, without resistance or regret, the stronger your mental and emotional resilience will become. Instead of being overwhelmed by obstacles, you'll develop a deep sense of confidence and inner peace, knowing that no matter what happens, it's all part of the grand design of your life. Amor Fati is not just a philosophy, it's a way of life that helps you navigate challenges with a sense of purpose and optimism. By learning to embrace your fate with an open heart, you free yourself from the chains of regret and negativity, allowing yourself to truly thrive in any situation. Start practicing Amor Fati today by embracing life as it comes, shifting your perspective, and finding meaning in every experience. With time and consistency, you'll build an untouchable mindset, one that welcomes all aspects of life with gratitude and resilience. 5. Master the art of emotional control. Emotional control is a crucial skill for developing an untouchable mindset. Life constantly presents us with situations that trigger emotions, whether it's frustration, anger, sadness, or even excitement. When we allow our emotions to dictate our reactions, we become vulnerable to external circumstances. However, mastering emotional control empowers us to respond with clarity and wisdom rather than impulsively reacting to situations that may disturb our inner peace. True emotional control doesn't mean suppressing or ignoring feelings. Instead, it involves recognizing them, understanding their roots, and managing them in a constructive way. When we learn to regulate our emotions effectively, we become less reactive to external events and more centered in our responses. This ability to stay composed and balanced, even in the face of adversity, is what sets apart those with a resilient mindset from those who are easily swayed by life's ups and downs. Consider a common scenario. Someone cuts you off in traffic. Your immediate emotional response might be frustration or anger, but if you lack emotional control, this momentary annoyance could escalate into stress that lingers throughout the day. By practicing emotional regulation, you can acknowledge your frustration, take a deep breath, and choose to let go of the negative energy instead of allowing it to impact your entire mood. This small act of control can have a profound impact on your overall well-being. To master emotional control, one must first develop self-awareness. Self-awareness allows you to recognize emotional triggers and patterns. It helps you understand why certain situations provoke strong reactions and empowers you to break free from automatic emotional responses. Practicing mindfulness is an excellent way to increase self-awareness. By observing your thoughts and emotions without judgment, you can create space between stimulus and response, giving yourself the opportunity to choose a more thoughtful reaction. Another powerful technique for emotional control is breath work. The way we breathe has a direct impact on our emotions. When faced with stress or anxiety, our breathing tends to become shallow and rapid, which signals the brain to remain in a heightened state of alertness. By practicing deep, intentional breathing, such as the 4-7-8 technique, inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 7 seconds, exhale for 8 seconds, you can instantly calm your nervous system, allowing you to regain control over your emotions in the moment. Cognitive reframing is another essential tool for managing emotions. It involves changing the way you perceive a situation by shifting your perspective. For example, instead of viewing a failure as a personal defeat, reframe it as an opportunity to learn and grow. This change in perspective helps reduce negative emotional responses and fosters a more constructive outlook on life's challenges. Additionally, practicing emotional detachment can be a valuable strategy. This doesn't mean becoming cold or indifferent, but rather learning to step back and observe emotions without becoming consumed by them. When you detach emotionally from a situation, you gain clarity and the ability to make rational decisions rather than being overwhelmed by impulsive feelings. Meditation and journaling are excellent practices to cultivate emotional detachment and gain deeper insight into your emotional patterns. Another effective method for improving emotional control is adopting the philosophy of acceptance. Many emotional struggles arise from resisting what we cannot change. Accepting situations as they are, without trying to force them to fit our expectations, can bring a profound sense of peace. Acceptance doesn't mean giving up. It means choosing to respond wisely instead of reacting emotionally. It's also important to surround yourself with positive influences that encourage emotional growth. The people you spend time with can impact your emotional state significantly. Being around individuals who practice emotional control can inspire you to develop similar habits, while negative influences can trigger emotional instability. Emotional control is closely linked to self-care practices. Ensuring that you are getting enough rest, eating well, and engaging in activities that nourish your mind and body can enhance your emotional resilience. When you are physically and mentally well, you are better equipped to handle emotional challenges with a calm and rational approach. In difficult situations, remind yourself of the 90-second rule. Neuroscientists suggest that when we experience an emotional reaction, the physiological response in our body lasts for about 90 seconds. If we can resist feeding the emotion with additional thoughts beyond that time, the emotion will naturally dissipate. Practicing this awareness can help you regain control in the heat of the moment and prevent emotional outbursts. 6. Focus on what you can control. One of the most important lessons in building an untouchable mindset is learning to focus only on what you can control and letting go of everything else. Many of us waste a great deal of time and energy trying to control things that are beyond our influence, whether it's other people's opinions, past mistakes, or future uncertainties. This tendency to fixate on things outside of our control leads to frustration, anxiety, and a feeling of helplessness. However, when we shift our focus to the things we can influence, our thoughts, actions, and attitudes, we regain a sense of power and purpose over our lives. When you focus on what you can control, you stop being a victim of circumstance and start becoming an active participant in your own life. You recognize that while you cannot control external events, you have full control over your reactions, choices, and mindset. This realization is liberating because it allows you to approach challenges with a proactive attitude rather than feeling overwhelmed by uncertainty. For example, consider a situation where you're facing criticism from others. You cannot control what they say or think about you, but you can control how you respond. Instead of reacting defensively or feeling hurt, you can choose to remain calm, reflect on the feedback objectively, and respond with confidence and grace. This shift in focus empowers you to manage your emotions effectively and avoid unnecessary stress. A key concept in focusing on what you can control is understanding the difference between influence and control. Influence refers to the ability to guide or encourage change in a situation, while control means having direct authority over it. Recognizing this distinction allows you to invest your energy wisely without feeling frustrated over things that are beyond your reach. Instead of wasting time trying to change external factors, you can focus on improving yourself and your immediate environment. One of the best ways to practice focusing on what you can control is to develop self-awareness. Pay attention to your thoughts and identify when you are worrying about things that are out of your hands. Ask yourself, is this something I can directly influence, or am I stressing over something I cannot change? By regularly questioning your thoughts in this way, you train yourself to redirect your energy toward productive actions rather than unproductive worries. A helpful exercise to strengthen this mindset is to create a control list. On one side, write down the things you cannot control, such as other people's actions, the economy, or the past. On the other side, list the things you can control, such as your attitude, your habits, and your effort. By consciously shifting your focus to the second list, you'll begin to feel more empowered and less anxious about the future. Another practical way to focus on what you can control is to practice mindfulness. Mindfulness teaches us to stay present in the moment rather than getting lost in thoughts about the past or worries about the future. When you practice mindfulness, you learn to accept life as it is and respond to it with calmness and clarity. Simple mindfulness exercises, such as deep breathing or paying full attention to your daily activities, can help you stay grounded and in control of your emotions. Letting go of what you cannot control also requires acceptance. Many people struggle with accepting that some things are beyond their power. They resist reality, hoping to change things that cannot be changed, which only leads to frustration and disappointment. Acceptance does not mean giving up. It means recognizing reality for what it is and choosing to focus your energy on constructive actions instead. Focusing on what you can control also improves your emotional well-being. When you direct your attention toward things you have influence over, such as your personal growth, your reactions, and your habits, you develop a greater sense of confidence and self-worth. You no longer feel helpless in the face of life's uncertainties. Instead, you feel empowered to take charge of your life in meaningful ways. Another important aspect of focusing on what you can control is setting realistic expectations. When you set goals based on factors within your control, such as improving your skills, maintaining a positive attitude, or developing healthy habits, you set yourself up for success. On the other hand, setting expectations based on external factors, such as how others will respond or whether circumstances will change, can lead to frustration and disappointment. 7. Build an unshakable identity. Building an unshakable identity is one of the most powerful steps you can take toward developing a mindset that nothing can hurt. Your identity, who you believe you are, shapes how you navigate life, how you respond to challenges, and how resilient you are in the face of adversity. When your sense of self is rooted in external validation, such as societal expectations, job titles, relationships, or social status, it becomes fragile and easily influenced by outside forces. However, when your identity is built on a solid foundation of internal values, self-awareness, and self-acceptance, it becomes unshakable. No external event or opinion can diminish your self-worth. Many people go through life allowing external factors to define them. They derive their sense of worth from their careers, relationships, or achievements. While these aspects are important, they are not permanent. Jobs can be lost, relationships can change, and achievements can fade. If your identity is solely tied to these fleeting aspects of life, you may find yourself feeling lost or broken when they are no longer present. True strength comes from defining yourself based on your values, beliefs, and inner strength, qualities that remain with you regardless of external circumstances. To build an unshakable identity, the first step is self-awareness. Take time to understand who you truly are beyond societal labels and expectations. Reflect on your values. What matters most to you in life? What principles do you want to live by? When you have a clear understanding of your core values, they become the guiding force behind your decisions and actions. You no longer feel the need to conform to others' expectations because you know what truly aligns with your authentic self. Another crucial aspect of building an unshakable identity is self-acceptance. Many people struggle with self-doubt and a constant desire to be someone they are not. They compare themselves to others and feel inadequate, which weakens their sense of identity. Learning to accept yourself, flaws and all, frees you from this cycle of self-doubt. Accepting yourself does not mean you stop growing. It means you acknowledge where you are and embrace the journey of becoming better without feeling unworthy in the process. Developing inner resilience is also key to maintaining a strong identity. Life is unpredictable, and challenges are inevitable. Having a strong sense of self helps you withstand difficulties without losing confidence or direction. Resilience comes from consistently reminding yourself of your strengths and the lessons you've learned from past experiences. When you encounter setbacks, instead of questioning your worth, view them as opportunities to grow and reinforce your identity. To strengthen your identity, it's important to focus on your intrinsic worth rather than external validation. Social media, societal standards, and peer pressure can often make us feel that we need to fit a certain mold to be accepted. However, relying on external validation makes your sense of self fragile and unstable. Instead, practice affirming your own worth by recognizing your progress, celebrating your efforts, and validating yourself from within. One way to build an unshakable identity is by creating personal affirmations that reinforce your core beliefs. Statements like, "I am capable," "I am enough," and "I define my own success" serve as powerful reminders of your intrinsic worth. Repeating these affirmations daily can help rewire your mind to focus on your strengths rather than doubts. Another important practice is setting boundaries. When you have a clear understanding of your values and priorities, it becomes easier to say no to things that do not align with your authentic self. Setting boundaries protects your mental and emotional well-being, ensuring that you stay true to your identity without being swayed by outside influences. Boundaries help reinforce your self-respect and prevent you from overcommitting or compromising your values. Developing an untouchable mindset isn't about avoiding life's challenges. It's about facing them with wisdom, resilience, and clarity. By embracing detachment, reframing pain, and focusing on what you can control, you empower yourself to move through life with unwavering confidence. If you found these insights valuable, be sure to like, subscribe, and share this video with others on their journey to inner strength. Stay mindful, stay resilient, and remember, nothing can truly hurt you when your mind is untouchable.